Hello and welcome. So we're going to start now. We're going to use the template that we already have to rebuild your website using HTML and CSS. And to get started, inside your working folder, just click on New File. Okay, once you're in New File, I want you to type home.html. Okay, that is the new file we are building, home.html. And to start up, we're going to do the normal things. So this is supposed to be a HTML document. So I'm going to have HTML, opening and closing. Then inside the HTML, I'm supposed to have the head, opening and closing. Then inside the head, I'm supposed to have the title. And the title, we are going to be building a gym fitness center. That's what we're going to be building. So we're going to call it Fitness Center. Fitness Center, okay. Then just below our head, we're going to have the body tag. Then inside the body, we're going to have the first H1 tag. And we're going to call it Abuja Fitness Center. So I'm going to save this. Then I'm going to open it up in live server. Open with live server. Okay, so you can see our website, Abuja Fitness Center. You can see the what's it called? The title here is Fitness Center, and this is what we have here, Abuja Fitness Center. And why are we having it like that? Because we also have here title Fitness Center, and we have H1 Fitness Center. So the template we are using to build out this website is this very template. So we want to pick it one by one so that you understand how it works. So this place that we have title phone word, in that same way, that's how we have title here, Fitness Center. This place will now have the body. Then we now started having the body here. So with this, we are going to build out something that looks like this phone app that is in our project. We are going to build it out so that we understand how the whole process works. So first thing we are going to do is that we are going to pick up this nav bar. Can you see this nav? Navigation, having the what? The logo and the home and about us. So we'll pick it up. This is the first section that we have there. So immediately we'll pick it up, we'll come down here under the body, that's where we'll put it. So we're going to take out this fitness center as a whole and replace it with this nav button. So I'm going to uncomment what was commented out here before because I want to use all of these as my nav bar. Okay, so this is the first section we are having. It is known as nav bar, and we are giving it a class of nav bar. Do you know why we are giving it a class of nav bar? Because we want, at some point, we want to customize this with CSS. Whenever you're customizing a given element with CSS, make sure you assign a class to it. So inside this nav bar, we have a lot of things there. We have another container that is going to contain our logo and the navigation. So inside this very nav bar, we have a container that is going to contain our logo and our navigation. So if I save this, Control S, then I get back, I should see it. Can you see this now? Phone up and the navigation. You guys are not seeing it. Okay, I should minimize this. Okay. So I'll minimize my screen a little bit. So I come here, make sure, because I was having some errors. So what am I supposed to have under this phone up? I'm supposed to have the logo of the fitness center, and I called it what? Abuja Fitness Center. So I'll do Control S to save. So if I get back here, can you see Abuja Fitness Center? Can you see my navigations? Is it clear now? So you can see it very clearly. This is Abuja Fitness Center. This is where my logo is supposed to be on, isn't it? And these are my 4 navigations, saying home, about our specs, and what? Contact. Can you see that? Can you see that? So this navbar class is containing everything inside here, because this navigation is just like the header section. Is that clear? Then inside this, the header section, we have the logo, which is this, and the navigation. Is that clear? In that same way, inside this nav section, can you see the nav section? It started here and ended here. Inside this, we have a container. So inside that very container, we are having the logo and the navigation. Are we clear on that? And we assigned all of them class, because we want to, at some point, open a CSS file that we are going to use in styling them. Class, is that clear? Is that clear? Okay, so let's bring in the next thing now. So after the navigation, the next thing will be to bring in the showcase. So bring in the what? Showcase. And this is the section for the showcase. So I'm going to pick it up. Then I get back here. So just below the navbar, can you see the navbar? This is where it ended. And henceforth, we want to bring in the showcase here. So I'll do Control V to paste the showcase. Make sure that they are well indented. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to pick up the whole showcase as a whole. And I'm going to indent it 1 time so that it will be on the same level as the navbar. So I indent once. So it's now on the same level as the navbar. So this is the showcase. If I save now and get back to my code, then I'm seeing the showcase. Can you see the showcase now? Can you see it now? So it's showing well now, but it has not been, there's no CSS customizing it, isn't it? So let's try and build out the CSS so that we'll see how CSS will make the navbar and the showcase to be cute. Are we clear on that? So let me get back here. Under the section of the showcase, we also have a container. It's always good, any section that you go in, have a container, you understand? So that when you style the container, you can style everything in that section. Then you also give the individual classes their name. So here we have the section with the class name of what? Showcase, because that's where we want to put the showcase. Then inside this, you have a div with the class of what? Container. Is that clear? These div are simply divisions that will enable you to style your work in future. So inside this container, we have one division that has the head 1 and the what? Paragraph tag. Is that clear? So in that same way, if you come here, we have this head 1. Can you see the head 1 here? Can you see the paragraph tag here? So we have head 1, we have paragraph, then we have this link and the photo, isn't it? So in that same way, we have this head 1, we have paragraph, we have this link and this photo. Is that clear? So let's manipulate it now and see how it works. So under this, because this is showcase, we simply say what? This is the most famous gym in Guadalajara. Is that clear? Then under this very paragraph text, we are going to now write about this gym. This gym is located in area what is this? What do we call this site? Phase 1 is not area. I'm using, it's located in what? Phase 1, Guadalajara. It has facilities for bodybuilding. What other facilities? Facilities for bodybuilding, dancing, boxing, and any other forms of exercises that you may wish to have. So I'll do Control S to save, isn't it? Then I have the read more is still okay. Then here I can have my image, isn't it? So I'll do Control S to save. Then when I come here, I can see that this is the most famous gym in Guagualada. Can you see it has changed? So that same way you can continue. Famous, my spelling for famous is erroneous. Okay, where else did I have mistake? Okay, so I'm gonna go get an image for gym, isn't it? So I can either save it on my system or get it somewhere else, isn't it? So to do that, I'm gonna come here, click here, make sure that I'm here. Then I click on new folder. Okay, I already have images folder here. So I can actually pick out an image that I have. So you can see the images that I have. So I can give it pick one, even though it's not the image, isn't it? So to test this out, I'm gonna come here, home.html. So I'm gonna come here, select all these, isn't it? Then I'll put what? Images / what? Pick one, because that's one of the names of the images in that folder that I have. Then I do Control S to save. Then when I get back here, I can see now that I have another image. Can you see that? But this image is too big. What should I do to this image to reduce it? So I can simply come here, isn't it? And then assign it some properties like what? Width of what? Say 300 and what? Height of what? Say 300. So when I save now, I can get back. I can now see that I have my image. Can you see that? So if we continue modifying this, we can get this. So do you understand now how this section and the navs work? So that's the essence of this class. You got it from the internet for the project, you understand? I want you to understand how it works so that you can affect changes in future. Are we clear on that? So we can bring in the next section, isn't it? So what is the next section? The next section will be the large text area. Can you see that? Large text area. Can you see the next section? So I can bring in this next section, which is the large text area. Just pick it up, come back here. Under this section, isn't it where you're supposed to put it? Just above your body. Make sure if you make mistake, it will not run the way you want. So I'm going to put it in there, but you can see that it is not well aligned, isn't it? So the next thing you do is what? Select the whole of it. Then you use your tab. Press your tab. Once you press your tab one, it will be aligned. You can see section is on the same place as section, isn't it? So the next thing will be for you to modify and make it be what you want. So you can see the first thing here is what? This is this section with this class. It has overlay. I will show you what overlay means in feature. And it also have this ID. But the first right up there is the S3 that has loud and clear, isn't it? So here I can say, so what are the type of things you have in gym? You can have your dance and what again? So I should put what? Equipment. No. Let me choose something that looks like dancing. So boxing and dancing. Boxing and what? Dancing. Okay. Then you have under this, you can have what? Professional tutors, isn't it? The kind of tutors we have there, isn't it? Then here I can now put in our gym, we have great tutors that will make you exercise greatly in order to lose weight faster and again, muscles easier. So I have some typographical errors. You can help me with that. So if I save this now and go back, you're gonna see this. Can you see it? Boxing and dancing professional tutors in our gym. Can you see that? So you can see that I have a mistake there in my H3. So I can effectively put this and save. Then when I get back, I should have it. Can you see that? So you can see that's how I put the different parts of it. So I can quickly go back and finally put the footer so that will allow you to do the other one by yourself. So this is the footer section. Can you see where it started? So I'm gonna go up, down here, isn't it? So I'm gonna pick up the footer, get back here, then just go just below the section or just above my body, isn't it? Then I'll put it there. And because I know that it might not be well indented, isn't it? I'll pick it down to that footer. Then I use the tab, just one press of the tab. It should be okay. Is that clear? So on this footer, I have things like company information, blog post, which I'm gonna leave. Subscribe is expected that I have subscribed, isn't it? So almost everything here is okay for the gym center. The various social network connections, they're also good for the gym center, isn't it? So I'm gonna leave all. The only place I'm gonna change is this very first part. Is that clear? So here I'm gonna change here. I'm gonna tell them that this is what for my social media connections, isn't it? So I'm gonna come here and simply say what? Follow us on social media, isn't it? So I'll do Control S to save. Then once I get back, I should be able to have my, can you see my footer? So we are done with the HTML part of this. So let's quickly go to the CSS, isn't it? So let's create a CSS here. I already have a CSS here. So I will still use this CSS. But I'm gonna create a new one here for it. So I'll just click on one of these ones inside here and click on new. So I'm gonna call this one style gym dot CSS. Why did I call it style gym? You can tell me why I called it style gym. Because I already have style, isn't it? Now, so I'm gonna go back to this HTML. Then I'm gonna bring in this CSS. How do I bring in this CSS? I have to link it, isn't it? And we all know that this is the link for bringing in CSS. So I'm gonna pick it up, come to this and put it. Where do I put this? This under the head, isn't it? That's also where we'll put JavaScript when we have JavaScript, isn't it? So I'll put it here. So instead of having style, what should I have now? Style what? Gym. Isn't it? Is it okay? So I'm gonna save this. So if you save this, because we don't have anything, it will not show any difference, isn't it? So we're gonna start developing our CSS, which is the main aspect of today's class. So the CSS that we are gonna be looking up, the same CSS from our project. Okay, welcome back. Our network went out, so we're joining back. So do we understand these variables? So whenever you want to declare your variables, always put them in the root. Is that clear? So I'm gonna pick up this. So when we put this in our site.css, it's not gonna say anything because we are just simply declaring variables. Is that clear? Then the second thing we are gonna do is to make sure that all the containers, all the things inside our content has the box sizing of border box, no margin and no padding. This is what you have to do before you start adding up things to your CSS. Is that clear? So first of all, you must do this so that when you send your elements to the center of the page, it will work exactly the way you want. So that's the next thing we'll do. So once we are done doing this, we can now start applying the CSS. Okay. So I told us what margin is and I told us what padding is, isn't it? That was what I explained in the last class. I said, margin, you're not giving, margin simply means, you see, this is the whole of the container. No space between this and what you have there. Is that clear? Then even after the container that you're not seeing, no other space outside it. So outside this is the margin, inside it is what? Padding. Is that clear? So you must make sure that you remove all the paddings that you have and all the margins, first of all, before you start coding. Is that clear? So the next thing you're going to do is to style your body. To do what? Style your body. So this is the style of your body, and you already know this. I told you that for you to write CSS, you simply write the selector, isn't it? The selector here is the what? Your body. What attributes are you changing? Font family, line height, color, and font size, isn't it? And you are assigning what values to them? These very values. Is that clear? You're telling me that the font style should be what? Sans serif. But if you have this catamaran is a Google font. It should come with catamaran. But if it doesn't see catamaran, it should come with what? Sans serif. Is that clear? The line height, that is the height of your font. Of everything inside the body should be what? 1.6. And the color should be this. And the font size should be this. Are we clear on this? So I'm going to just pick this up. So once I pick it up, and I'll go to the font thing, I'll now put it. So when I save, I'm expected to start seeing these changes, isn't it? The first two things we did are to get our work in position, but this one is supposed to show up. So when I go back now, can you see the changes? Can you see the changes? All the right up, can you see that the font has changed? Everything is changing already, even before we started to code the rest out. So the font is using is what we call sans serif, isn't it? So let's continue now. So we get back again. The next thing that was I was worked on was the H1 to H3 and H4. And we know that we have H1 and H3 to H4, isn't it? Because if you scroll down small, you're gonna see this is your H1. This place you have, this is most famous gym in Gwagwalada. Is that clear? So if you open it up, you see this is the most famous gym in Gwagwalada. It's not styled yet, isn't it? But now we're going to try to style it by giving it a what? By giving it a height of this. Is that clear? So if I pick it up now and use it here and give it a color, you know I can give it a color if I want, isn't it? If I want to give it a color, I simply say what? Color, isn't it? Then I put the word colon, give space and write the color I want. If I write red and close and save this, if I get back now, can you see all of them are in red now? All the head ones are all in red. Can you see that? So you can actually affect any color that you want, but I don't want any color on it. I'll remove it. Is that clear? So this simply shows you that if you want to style more than one element, how do you do it? You write one, put comma, write the other one, put comma. Is that clear? So this means that this line height of 1.3 is for all these headers. Are we clear on this? Noel, are you clear on this? Good. So we'll go to the next thing. Next thing will be to style the anchor tags. These are the links. Is that clear? When you have your link, you normally say ahref. Is that not how you link? Ahref, you understand? So you want all your links to have these very sort of buttons. Is that clear? You want all your links to have this color, and you want the text decoration to be none. So let me explain what this does for you. If I copy this now and go to this style.gym, I come down here, I put it. Can you see that the text decoration is none? If I don't put this decoration of none, once you have your links, you will have underline. Can you see that there are underlines on these links? Because you've not stated that the decoration should be none. So now that I've brought in text decoration none, if I save this now and go back again, can you see there are no more underlines? Is that clear? Once you want to use this as buttons, it's always good you remove the underlines. Is that clear? So that it will not look like a link, but it's still performing like a link. So that's what this text decoration none does. Is that clear? And this color is simply the color that is showing. If you come here and change this color to this 444, these are hexadecimal coloring. If I put red and save, if I get back here, I'm not having red. Can you see that? So that color that was there is actually the color that is being read out. Is that clear? Okay, so let's go forward. So let's start the next thing. What next do we start? UL. Do you know what UL is? Another list, isn't it? And this is our what? Image. Can you see that? So let's start all these together, huh? Since we understand what they do. I'm going to pick up these two. Then I'm going to come here. So I use them to style our list and our what? Image. So if I save this now and I go back, you can see that this image is now well positioned. It's balanced. Can you see that? So can you see the way we are building this out just by working on this? And when they look bogus, you might not understand what they are, you understand? But it's very simple. You can actually manipulate them to change what you want. Are we clear on this? So let's continue. So now we're going to make all the containers to be this and the navbar to be this. Is that clear? This container, we already know them. Can you see that when we are styling all this, we did not put dots in front of any of them? Who can tell me why we did not put dots? But now we want to start putting dots. Whenever you're styling a class, can you see this? If you open here, you see class container. Can you see class container? Once you're styling a class, you must put dots. Is that clear? So that's why we are now putting dots. So we want to style all the container class, the nav class, and the nav container class, including the logo and the nav URL. So let's style everything in the nav bar. First of all. So I'll pick this up. Since I believe that you already know what all these values are, isn't it? So let's now style everything in the nav bar. So I'll put this here and I say enter. So this is just the navigation bar. You know where the navigation bar is, isn't it? If you get here, the navigation bar is just this up. Can you see that it has styled it for you now? This is where your logo is supposed to be, isn't it? And look at the links. Everything is well organized now. Can you see that? So it's because now that you've styled them one by one, you style the logo, you style the nav bar, generally the container. Then after styling the container, you went inside and styled the logo by positioning it here, style the various nav components, isn't it? And that is exactly what we did here. So here is where we start the whole container. Is that clear? Then here you style the nav bar. Then you now created what we call grid. This is what we call grid. You will use grid to style the nav container so that you can have two divisions. Is that clear? Two divisions. That's what this means. You're repeating one division into two, and this is where we have it. You have two divisions. One is for the logo, and one is for the nav component. Is that clear? So this is a grid system where you have the logo and the nav component. Then after styling the logo and the nav component, you now came in down here. You did this for the logo. This for the various components. So for this very component, which is the nav URL, this is the nav URL. You use another system of CSS known as the float. You understand? You used grid to divide them into two. Then you use float to float this like this. And this was what was done here. So you can see justify flex and display flex. Once you say display flex, it means they are using Flexbox. But once you say display grid, it means you're using grid. So you aligned everything to the center and justified. Then the A links, all the links, you padded them with this. Then this hover is, you only use hover when you want, if you bring your cursor here, you want it to change a little bit, you understand? So when we start adding color, you will see all those effects. Now I'll get back again. So I've customized the navbar, isn't it? The next thing is to customize the next section that is following, isn't it? So to customize that, I pick out this and I make sure that I stop where it. Which section am I working on? So let me get back. This is section A, isn't it? Can you see section A and the container and everything inside it? So that's what I want to work on. So I'll get back here. I look for section A alone. Okay, so this is section A. So I pick up, this is the customization for section A. I stop here. Can you see that? This is for section B. So you see by the naming, that's why when we are creating the HTML, we are assigning them to class, naming them different things, you understand? So that when you want to assign the CSS, it will be easier for you to manage. Are you clear on that? So I'll put this here, Control V to save, then Control S to save it. Why am I using primary color? Because I know that once I assign color, primary color, it will go and fetch from this root and give this color, isn't it? So I'll save this. And when I get back again, I'm going to notice some, okay, there are much differences now. So I think maybe there's a mistake somewhere. Okay, section A. So let me go from this section that we just put in now. Let's bring them in one by one so that we can locate where our error is from. Okay, so I'll take this out, Control S to save again. Okay, so it's back to what we want, isn't it? So let's bring in the next let's bring in the next one. The next one will be to format the container. So where is the container? Can we locate the container here? Can we see it here? Div class container, isn't it? So containing the whole of this. And what is it containing? It's containing the div that contains this H1, this paragraph, and this image. Abby? Okay. So let me go pick it up now. So I'll pick it up, get back to this place, go down, place, and save. Then I'll get back. Okay. So it's still okay now. You can see that. So it has divided this into two now, isn't it? This is the picture, and this is the other right up. Abby? Okay. So I can also get back, pick out this H1, all the H1 that will be inside this container. I'm gonna pick it up, get back here, and style it. Okay, it's the H1 that was making it to look too big. Okay. So I can let me increase the font, but we can manage this, isn't it? So how do we do that? Should I can reduce the font size here, isn't it? So from 4 rem to 1 rem. If I do Control S to save, if I get back, you can see now it's cute now. So anything here you can actually manage from the other side, isn't it? So I can now get back again and bring in the remaining section parts. So let me pick all of them up now, since we've located where our problem is, isn't it? So I get back here, I put this, Control S to save, then I get back. Okay, so you see it's looking perfectly now. Can you see our read more? This is our read more link. So I'm gonna allow you guys to fix the remaining. But you guys can understand the way it moves now. So let me allow you guys to fix the remaining since you already have the code base. So your assignment now is now changing from phone to what? Gym fitness. Are we clear on this? That's what I'm checking you on. If I come to your back, I'll check your gym fitness, not the phone again, because I expect you to use applied knowledge from what you already have and recreate another thing. Are we clear on that? So what you are going to do for me is that, first of all, for those of us that their own was not working, some people's own were not working. So from here, you can know how you can make your own work, isn't it? Very simply. So now, go to the internet. We just recharge our data now. Are you clear on that? So data should be pretty fast now. Go to internet, get pictures on Gym. You understand? Populate your own pictures with Gym. Develop your various links and make sure that it's working. Are we clear on this? Okay, so that's where we're going to be stopping. I will expect the class to do the rest so that they can understand the way the workflow is. Remember, everything you want is in Christ Jesus. The easiest way to success is by being a born again. See you when I see you.